It's debatable. It really is. I've heard a lot of people around that Panthers organization say that they love the taller, more built type of quarterbacks. They don't like a guy that's built like, I guess you could say Kyler Murray or Bryce Young. It makes a ton of sense. At this point, it's just a preference thing. Alright, I apologize. I know it's a late upload. I had a busy day, a lot of stuff going on, and also the SEC tournament was going on. Spent all day watching that. Roll Tide, by the way. And yeah, this is the third video I'm uploading tonight, so I don't apologize for that. I'm still working really hard. It's just I apologize for it being a late upload, if that makes sense. But anyways, that is besides the point. You don't care about that. We're here to talk about the breaking news that just happened. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'm not here to waste your time. We got one topic and one topic only. We're going to talk about the trade that officially happened. The Chicago Bears, they've traded their number 1 pick for a lot of stuff. They decided to do this trade with no other than the Carolina Panthers, and this does shock me because I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, and I thought if anybody was going to trade for it, it'd be the Colts. I don't know what it was. I just had a feeling the Colts were going to try their absolute best to get the number 1 pick. They didn't. Let me show you this real quick before we get into the juicy stuff, the quarterback situation. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. If you have, just bear with me. There's also some people that probably haven't seen this or don't even know what's going on. The Chicago Bears, right, they had the number 1 pick. Well, they traded it to the Panthers, and the Bears received, I mean, they got a crap ton of stuff. They got the 9th overall pick, the 61st overall pick, a first-round pick in 2024, that's key, and a second-round pick in 2025. And the Panthers' star wide receiver, DJ Moore. Is calling him a star wide receiver a stretch? I guess compared to the rest of the league. But for the Panthers, yeah, definitely their star wide receiver. Remember, there's 2 sides to every story. There's 2 sides to every trade. Is that a saying? I don't know. Let's roll with it. What did the Panthers get on their flip side? Well, nothing, really. They just got the number 1 overall pick. Literally, that's all there is to it. Sometimes when you see trades like this, you'll see a team where, oh yeah, they get the number 1 pick and then a 7th rounder in 2082. But no, they was just like, yeah, we'll take the number 1 pick and that's it. We don't want no vending machines, no cash, no undrafted free agent. We just want the number 1 pick, which is all fine and dandy itself. But I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, the Chicago Bears, they fleeced the Panthers, but I disagree with that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. I think this was a fair trade for both teams. I don't know what it is about people. They always try to assume that there's always a winner and a loser in a trade. Both teams can't win. The one thing I've learned watching and studying the MLB, the NBA, and the NFL, there is a lot of scenarios where teams can win the trade together. In this case and scenario, I think it's a win-win. The Chicago Bears needed a wide receiver. They got that, and plus, they didn't need the number 1 overall pick, so they got more quantity over quality, which, that's a win. For the Panthers, yeah, would it have been cool to keep DJ Moore and your 2nd and 1st round pick? Yeah, but you didn't necessarily need it. You need that franchise-changing quarterback. That's what you need. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out. The first thing you got to fix with any NFL team is the quarterback position. Everything else, you'll just learn and fix along the way. If you don't want to take my word for it, the best example I can give you is look at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals were a laughingstock for years on years on years. Long story short, they get Joe Burrow, and the rest is history. That's how important it is to draft a franchise quarterback. I know we hype it up a lot, and I know we talk about it a lot, but there's a reason for it. It matters a ton. Let me put it this way. It's 10 times better to have one of the best quarterbacks in the league than one of the best wide receivers in the league. Now that we've gotten all that out the way, let's address the elephant in the room. Everybody talking about, okay, they got the number 1 pick, but what are they going to do with it? Well, to me, and anybody with a functional brain, if you can put 2 and 2 together, they're not drafting a defensive lineman or a defensive tackle or any defensive player with this number 1 overall pick. There's not. No shot in this world. I don't even want to try to make up some bet with you guys. There's no shot the Panthers take a defensive tackle or anybody on the defensive side of the ball. End of story. You don't trade away your wide receiver and a 1st round pick next year and a 2nd round in 2025 to get a guy you probably could have got if you stayed at your same spot. That just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. As much as I love Will Anderson Jr. to death, there's another guy in this draft from Texas Tech. I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank. But he is also an edge rusher. He's just as good. And there's a couple other edge rushers and defensive linemen I like, so it wouldn't make sense logically to get this number 1 pick just to draft a defensive player. With that being said, the Carolina Panthers have narrowed this down to 2 quarterbacks, and in my humble opinion, I already know who it is. But first things first, let me show you what Steve Smith Sr. had to say about all of this.
My goodness, the Carolina Panthers are doing big things. Everybody's surprised. Obviously, you move up to the number 1 pick when you have an offensive-minded coach, because obviously you want to do some offensive-minded things. You don't trade 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, and a dynamic wide receiver like DJ Moore, my spirit animal, to go get a D lineman, a D tackle. Julius Peppers is not in this draft. So you got to assume they're trying to make big moves and a big impact. So don't be shocked as this team continues to make moves, because there is a different set of eyes that value everybody differently. The fan base loves DJ Moore. Agent 89 loves DJ Moore. But guess what? They did. They thought he was great. He was a great asset to move forward with getting something that they value as a franchise changer, a franchise impactor. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to do some big things. So, hey, Panthers fans, I believe we got some aggressiveness going on, and Keep Pounding is in the building. All right, let's go.
I don't know what it was at the end of the video, but it made me smile the way he said, let's go. But also at the end of the video, he said, hey, looks like we got some aggressiveness going on in the building, and yes, I love it as well. I think not just in the NFL, but in life, whether you're coaching middle school, high school, college, major leagues, NFL, NBA, it doesn't matter. You got to be aggressive. You can't sit back. And it looks like that's the route the Panthers are going, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. Think about it. In life, you never regret the stuff you did. You regret the stuff you didn't do. Because if you take a chance, a leap of faith, and it doesn't work out, you go, yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea, but hey, at least I tried it. You can sleep at night. But the one thing that keeps people up at night when they're in their 50s, 60s, and 70s is when they're going, man, when I was 20 or 30, I should have took that risk. You see what I'm saying? If you don't take the risk, you're going to have regret. If you take the risk, you're not going to have regret. I think that's what Steve Smith Sr. is trying to come off to say, and I agree with him. Now, getting on track here with the risk, let's talk about the quarterback dilemma. Heading into this NFL draft, this is a situation I've kept up with so much. The top three quarterbacks, I think everybody can agree on this: Will Levis from Kentucky, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State, and Bryce Young from Alabama. I know a crap ton of information about Bryce Young. I've been following up with him since he not just was at Alabama, but at Mater Dei High School in California. I know a lot about Bryce Young. I'll leave it at that. I've met him personally. Great guy. And C.J. Stroud, I've been watching him since high school, and I've watched every single one of his games at Ohio State. As far as it goes for Will Levis, yes, I've kept up with him, but not as much as C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Mel Kiper Jr. and all these NFL gurus and analysts, they've been raving on Will Levis because they love him. He's 6'4", 6'5" big, strong, got the NFL type of body build. He looks the part. He checks off the intangibles, but for me, he doesn't check off when it comes to the eye test. I think Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, they're 1A, 1B. So for me, at least, I can't speak for all you, but for me, the top two quarterbacks without a single doubt in my mind is Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Whatever order you want to put them in, that's cool. I got Bryce Young as QB1, and I got C.J. Stroud as QB2. I really don't think you can go wrong with either one, and that's how I feel about it. Anybody that says otherwise, they don't know what they're talking about. However, I do think it would be a major, and I mean a major mistake, taking Will Levis over C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. But hey, that's just me. I'm not an NFL analyst. I don't own one of these teams, so what do I know? Here's the latest of updates, though. According to the sources, the quote-unquote sense around the league is that the Panthers will be drafting the Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud, according to league insiders. Interesting. It's debatable, it really is. I've heard a lot of people around that Panthers organization say that they love the taller, more built type of quarterbacks. They don't like a guy that's built like, I guess you could say Kyler Murray or Bryce Young. It makes a ton of sense. At this point, it's just a preference thing. Me, myself, if I had the number one pick, I'm taking Bryce Young because, well, turn on the tape and watch the film. He's ridiculous. The best comparison I can use is he's Steph Curry of college football and maybe Steph Curry of the NFL. What did people say about Steph Curry when he was coming out of college? Oh, he's undersized, he's too small, he's too skinny, and look how that turned out. Look, I'll be the first to tell you, yes, Bryce Young, he's undersized. Yes, he's not built like a stereotypical NFL caliber quarterback, but the dude can play. It's the same thing with Steph Curry. I mean, are you really not going to draft this guy just because he's 5'10"? But I digress. I'm not going to sit up here and try to pitch you an argument for Bryce Young. That's just how I feel about it. Now, according to this, like it says, they're going to take C.J. Stroud. Well, let's talk about this. Everybody's going to say, oh, yeah, that's great. C.J. Stroud, number one overall pick. But is it really that great? I'm sorry I'm laughing, but I'm just thinking about it. That Carolina offensive line is terrible. If I'm C.J. Stroud, yeah, of course, I'm going to be excited to go number one overall. That's awesome. You get more money, and it's something you can tell your kids. Hey, I went number one. I didn't go number two, number three. I went number one. But that is a terrible organization. I get it, they're trying to turn things around, but key word, they're trying. They haven't done it yet. Whoa, hold on. I already know what somebody's going to say. Well, Matt, at number 2, the Houston Texans, they're also a terrible organization. And hey, I agree. I didn't say the Texans were a good organization. I'm just saying, if this does happen, if CJ Stroud goes there, I don't think it's going to be that great. The Carolina Panthers have a lot, and I mean a lot of work to do. But hey, looks like they're heading in the right direction. I do like this move by being aggressive and going after the number 1 pick. Let me know your thoughts down below. But